Hello and welcome to Torment, Tides of Numenera. So I popped out, traded a little bit, officially bought the ugliest armor of all time. I have no idea what this is, but I guess we're gonna wear it because it has good stats, right?
Doing it now.
That's it. And the guys seemingly just ran inside, now they're here. We failed to talk with them in last episode, but I didn't talk with them at all. They just ran inside. Anyway, abandoned bowls, rotten fruit, incense, and other oddities filled the corridor. Tokens brought to honor the dead.
On my way.
I don't know. Maybe we can take it? Can we take that? So, I actually bothered to write together all the places we can go to. We have 4. The Phoenix guy has whoa, what is this? 4 damage, plus 1 damage per effort applied on unarmed attacks? Wow, that makes my Wolverine thing is a lot better. I can be a tall Wolverine with that.
I'm ready.
Awesome. Maybe it's gonna work out. It's gonna be a plan B if nothing works.
Yes.
We'll just be a Wolverine.
Now.
What is that? Heavenly Submission, oddity. This otherworldly gem is unlike anything you've seen before, with cuts so fine that they are beyond counting. Oh, that would be good to sell. Take it out.
Yes.
So, hope you guys don't mind just taking all the stuff. What is this? These green lights are part of the original architecture built into the wall itself.
I'm going.
Well, I figured that one out. Thousands of names scroll across the surface of this sphere. There is no indication of how they died, assuming that's what the names mean. This jar is warm to the touch and vibrating slightly. This jar is filled with ashes, more ashes than one human body could produce.
Let's go.
Oh, that's nice. They got a disco ball as well. Surfaces of voices whispers from this jar every so often. But we can't do anything with a disco ball. Hey guys! What is that? These lights bending and refracting in upon themselves must have been brought to honor someone important. Names have been worn away by time, however. So, what about you, Otvaglos? Thanks for your help, mate, friend. We might have made it, but I'm glad we didn't have to take the chance. Well, it was not going your way. But hey, yes, this really shouldn't break you. So yeah, you would have got off just fine. Can you tell me about yourself? He straightens, though it's clear the effort pains him. I'm an explorer and a do-gooder, self-proclaimed. For some reason, he smirks at the stout man next to him, and he says, I've been all over the world at every occupation and hardship you could imagine. Why, I even had my luck stolen from me. And do you know what I learned in all that? He leans forward. You can do anything if you work for it. Anything. I love that. How did you get here? He leans forward. Was Spirit Toriali? Ah, right. Let me tell you. What's with the leading close? Just talk like a normal person. We left the oasis some weeks ago, tracking the tale of deceit and fabled Numenera. We were hired to find something called a world string, tiny contraption that can spin a web so fine it's all but invisible, but so strong it can slice the world in two if someone had the means and the mind for it. No idea if it actually exists, but that's how this all started. Well, there were out in the Verxulian waste when we happened across a broken hound the size of a Griffalo. Something had irritated it, so we decided to seek shelter and wait for nightfall to see if it might not range a little further from the route we wanted to take. I was looking for just such a place when something slammed into me and knocked me down into the valley. It was Narv trying to kill me again. I don't blame him though. It's all for the best. What? Narv and Jenkins followed, of course, and we ran into these fine memorialists. In a bit of trouble. Now, I'm never one to turn down a challenge or people in need. It's almost a curse, you might say. So of course we agreed to help them lock their necropolis. After that, well, you can see what happened after that. Who are your companions? He tilts his head toward the rat-like man near him. That's Narv, the blessed, meanest bastard this world has seen. Except he keeps messing it up somehow. That's the brush you're painting with? Painting me with, bruh? Bah! Bah! He scolds and turns away. He gestures with his head to the earnest-looking man with a smile. And that's Jenkins, the Jinxed. Always around to help, especially when you don't need it. Did you say help needed, boss? No, friend. Or at least there's nothing you don't already know about. Have you heard about that gay girl named Choi? No, friend, sorry, but if she's dead, you should ask the memorialists. Supposedly they know all the dead. Pretty sure that's not true. Yankees the Jinxed? I love that name. I almost didn't think I was going to make it out of here alive. You're a saint in human flesh. Who are you? I'm Jenkins the Jinxed. He wrinkles his nose. It wasn't my first choice of name, believe me, but I don't really mind it anymore. It's kind of apt. He looks you over and then shuffles forward a little, leaning closer. What's with the leaning closer? You see, I really like to help people, but I have a habit of getting lost, he says in what he clearly thinks is a whisper. I have a camp down for the night. I'll camp down for the night with my party, and by morning they'll be all gone. He stares up at you in wide-eyed wonderment. It's a terrible curse, it really is. He kicks at the floor, sighs. Otvog and Narv are the only people I've never lost, he says morosely. I feel like I'm trying. Don't worry, Narv, I'll never try to lose you. How did you get here? I mean, like, he might be annoying. You might find him annoying, but he looks like a good guy. I mean, like, and in this place, and in this world, a good guy is good enough. Well, we came across the waste, he says pensively. The Verxurian waste, of course, not the Tempest waste. He laughs slightly as if at his own joke. Then Narv pushed Otvog down a sand dune and he tumbled into this gravestone alley. Almost broke his neck. I'm glad he didn't though. Still, don't know why he pushed him. Maybe it was an accident. Then he pauses, searching his memory. We ran into these memorialists who asked for our help. They wanted to lock the necropolis from these cultists. Of course I said yes, but well, we weren't so lucky, but at least we kept them out. Who are your companions? The red-haired one is Otvog Loss, our leader. He's been all over the world, you know. He's famous. Jenkins gives you a nod, his face serious as if to impress upon you the gravity of the situation. The other fellow is Narv. He tries to hurt people, but it never turns out right. What? His eyes widen and he looks around worried. I don't hurt. I don't hurt people. He smiles and leans in forward. Leans in toward you. I like him. He thought I hadn't noticed. How stupid does he think I am? Okay. Have you heard of that girl named Choi? He brightens. Oh, of course I know. Yeah, I haven't. He slumps in despair. I'm really helpful. I mean, usually. You're lucky he can't help you. More trouble than it's worth. Believe me. What? Helping people is never trouble, and it's always worth it. He gives a kind of smile. Keep it up, and you will be helpful. Okay. Falira Kyo? I'm pretty sure that I spoke with Falira. Yeah. Narv. I suppose I should be thankful, so thanks. Can you tell me about yourself? I'm an explorer and a villain. The worst villain you've ever met. And by that, I mean I'm no matter... By I mean no matter what I try to pull, it somehow ends up helping people. Pfft. Blessed indeed. How did you end up here? He leans forward and talks to you in low tones.
What's with the leaning forward, okay?
That was Utvok's fault. God's damn do-gooder can't help himself. We are on a quest, he calls it, for this fabled string of whatever. I figure it's my chance to off him once and for all. You came across this enormous broken hound, so I tossed a few rocks at it to get its attention. Well, Utvok wouldn't fight it or run. No, he calmed it down and left it alone. Wow. Why are you such a jerk? So I tried the second time, shoving Utvok down a mountainside when he got too close. As luck would have it, I lost my balance and fell down with him. Cursed idiot Jenkins follows us to help. Puts off a blast of air. That's how we got to this valley. And these memorialists asked for our help. We all saw an opportunity. Jenkins to help, Utvok to grow on his path or whatever. And me to finally do Utvok in. Shakes his head sadly. Then those cultists caught us before I could try anything. I'll tell you, nothing ever goes my way. Can I ask you about this why are you trying to kill people? Who are your companions? Are you just joking? I mean, like, it does seem like an odd thing to just say out loud. I mean, like, the red-haired fellow, he's Utvok Loss. In a hushed tone, he adds, I've been trying to kill him for about 12 years now. Right, I'm like, you must be joking, right? He leans back and indicates the smooth-faced man. And the young pup there is Jenkins the Jinx. He'll want to help you. Don't let him. He leers at the young man, who smiles back at him as if he just said the nicest thing. Have you heard about the dead girl named Cho? He barks a cruel laugh. Do I look like a memorialist? Ask someone else. Farewell. So, we got some codes, okay?
I'm ready.
I don't know what this is, but... What? A shimmering field obscures this pedestal. It seems to be emanating from a small device within the field. That must be the Whisper Lock. Also inside is a configuration of buttons surrounding a central dial, but with the Whisper Lock engaged, there is no way to reach them. Well, I know it's Goonie, but I remember names better than fucking sequence of numbers.
I'll remember that.
I know that. With a sigh, the shimmering field disintegrates into glimmering shards of light. The controls are now accessible.
I'll remember that. 5
buttons are arrayed around the central hex. An indecipherable display glows on the bottom, where a 6th button would otherwise be. A number has been crudely carved into the surface of the 5 buttons. You remember the code to the first tomb. Now is the time to use it. Press the buttons randomly. No. Good thing that I managed to write it down. So, let's go to... Oh. 1. It's kind of annoying. 5. 3. 5. When the 4th hexagon illuminates, a field of energy forms around you. A tight sucking sensation pulls at your gut. Then suddenly you are somewhere else. Go! So this is the place, the guy, the Phoenix guy, outside.
All right.
In the middle of the...
I'm making a note.
Oh. Middle of that crazy place. Valley of the Dead Heroes. Standing. Like the guy is had this note, and that is what was written on it. Its nearly human face has been sculpted to look like it is emerging from the stone floor. As you draw near, the mouth suddenly begins to move. It speaks in an unfamiliar tongue, and you feel a light touch across your mind. The face continues speaking, adjusting pitch and vibrations of its words as it zeroes in on a shared language. The jumble of noise becomes recognizable speech quickly, and the face becomes more human. Recognize the face. Is that of Phoenix, the enigmatic man in the valley. The voice is surprisingly pleasant and warm. I am Phoenix, seeker of knowledge, lover of wisdom, questioner of truth. I found ways to bend space and fold reality, but it was not enough to keep my death from my door. If you are hearing this message, I am missing a part of my consciousness. I have communicated with it and feel its presence nearby, but it does not return. The voice fades, taking with it the memory of the language it spoke.
Action!
Okay.
Here I come!
What about these? Not even sure what these are. How high that highest candle lights the dark. Read the name plaque. Bafid Verlekamp. Read the epitaph again. Don't know. Do we need to go back to Phoenix? So he answers these things. In honor of nearly 100,000 souls who give willingly and bravely to this world, it is a monument carved from their torment, from their dreams to yours. Read the name plaque. The believers, Cenotaph. Okay, so possibly we need to go back to the Phoenix guy. Does not speak again. So we need to go back to Phoenix. We found the thing. The console here is similar to the one in Necropolis's entrance. There are 5 buttons, each with a number carved into them. Did the memorialists carve these numbers in every tomb? But there are additional buttons as well. 6 edge buttons surrounding the carved ones are lit. Each of these has an arrow scratched into it, pointing away from the center. The small hex in the center is glowing as well. If you're interpreting the illuminated symbols correctly, you're currently in a tomb 1535. So what? Is this enter the code to a location you already know. First cast off tomb to the endless gate. Try to number what? Are you kidding me? Try to remember the codes of any important locations you know. That's the old locations that we know. Damn it. Those are the 4 I managed to write down. Okay. Let's go to Naima. Try the number that was on the dead memory list note with the name Naima. Looks like it's a minor thing, so might as well do that now. You press the buttons 4, 1, 3, 5. As you press each button, a symbol illuminates on a surrounding hex. When the 4th hexagon illuminates, a field of energy forms around you, and you feel the same tight, sucking sensation at your gut. Suck me in, teleporter! So what is this? Some underground... I don't even know what this is.
Alright.
This is a crazy vault. Zahir El Shami.
Like a whisper.
What is this? Aliandri.
Yes. Now.
So possibly a tomb again. Adam Darby.
If you want a job done right.
What is this?
Ready.
Rick Arnold. These names are more reasonable. Kenneth Holm Tronrud.
I'll handle it.
What about this? As a fight came to an abrupt end with the realization that truth is irrelevant. All that matters in society is belief. Those that see the truth outside accepted beliefs can suffer in silence or cry out in futility one last time before they disappear. Read the name plaque. Peter, the Wonder Goat. Really? Okay.
Yes.
Whoa! There's something tucked behind this marker. You struggle to wrench it free. As soon as you do, you realize through an odd twist in your gut, more than anything else, that this is some cast-off's Mircaster. You tuck it away and turn your attention to the epitaph. What is this? Just money? These flowers are complex arrays of circuitry, each petal covered in carefully laid copper wires. Filaments run from the petals into ruddy stone glass sheet, ending in an all-dead diode. The entire device pulses with inner heat. You can use it? Beautiful, beautiful Naima. A casualty of a war that she had nothing to do with. 1999 to 2003? That looks to be very old, right? Isn't this like billions of years in the future? Alright, we gotta go back. Okay, let's go to a... What if we just press the center... Let's press the arrow. Let's see what happens if you just try to go. Let's go up, pointing up. As soon as you press the button, the field of energy surrounds you. You feel the same tight, sucking sensation at your gut. And then it is just gonna be empty. I suppose it's just gonna be empty. Oh, possibly not.
Let's go.
Chris?
One moment, and it's done.
I'm ready.
Onion Choi? Lavandula.
Why, of course.
A lot of people there here.
On it.
What about this? Radiator. The weakness of a moment that can a beating heart still, but the memories of the life it can't ever kill. Read the name plaque. Tom Watson. Right. So
Absolutely.
okay, so we shouldn't really go just blind. No. You need to go to a location I already know. First cast of tombs. Or the Endless Gate. So Endless Gate are just the crazy man-eater cannibals. First cast of tombs. I think we just not sure where we should go. Let's go to the first cast of tomb. Maybe we need to get ready for the crazy cannibals. You press the buttons 3, 4, 3, 1. The code that Matt Keenan gave you. As you press each button, the symbol emulates on a surrounding hex. Actually, I don't have that code written down. So I have an extra code. When the fourth hexagon illuminates, a field of energy forms around you and you feel the same tight sucking sensation at your gut. Ooh. Hey. This frieze appears to have been defaced. There are two figures facing each other in anger, but it's impossible to make out any more than that.
I'm going.
Uh-oh. The carvings here display two figures standing side by side on a crag overlooking a plateau with a wide disc at its center. The scene is familiar. A wave of dizziness envelops you and you steady yourself against the rough stone. This does not help. The memory flows out through the stone in rumbling pulses, overtaking your senses. Yes, this scene is familiar because you experienced it firsthand when you rebuilt your mind in the labyrinth, and now, here, the full memory awaits you. Succumb to it. Do it. The memory of that long day pours past you, cold as melting snow. You direct the first cast-off's gaze toward the resource-rich plateau where Miel Avest will one day stand. You ignore the laughter in her eyes when your own constructs turn on you and make the necessary repairs, and then the rush of time slows as she makes her way up a moss-hung path towards you, her eyes bright behind the mask. I have something to show you, she says. You follow her to a deactivated portal. I've got it working. The doorway exists in two places at once, here and on the other side. Once you align them, she lays her hands and forehead against the stone, as though worshipping the thing. Your lip curls involuntarily, but can't fault the results. The portal activates, answering the veiling glow of the first cast-off's tattoo beneath her mask. The flood of memory slows to a trickle, leaving your back in your body. You look over at the mural. Could that be the way to open the portal? Examine the frieze. Though the two figures are faded, you can still make out a few necessary details with the help of the memory you saw in the labyrinth. This frieze depicts the changing god and the first cast-off, overlooking the site of Miel Avest. They are side by side, not master and servant, but equals. Matkina sees you studying the image. They are here, the architects of all the misery of our lives. Looking closer at their faces, you notice something interesting. The first cast-off is shown wearing a mask. As you remember, the changing god's face is chipped in places, as though someone tried to damage the frieze but failed. Alright.
Alright.
What about this? A bewildering array of colliding jagged edges and mangled corpses make up this frieze. It's not quite clear whether the artist was inspired, drunk, or insane. The battlefield is depicted here, that much is certain, but the amount of detail is staggering, and it isn't immediately apparent what the artist was trying to convey. The first detail you notice is that the fortress standing out from the wall is bold relief. All in bold relief. Many of the soldiers shown are powering through the sundered gates, and every one of their faces shows different emotion: elation, rage, terror. But it is the jagged edges, seemingly raised at random, that pull your attention down to the bottom right of the piece. There lies the first cast-off of the changing god, mortally wounded, dying alone as divergent realities snap shut around her like teeth. Matkina's voice is contemplative. I love this place. Last time I came back to Miel Avest, stood here for an hour. I like to think that she's suffering as much as she caused Nang to suffer. More. What was actually... Was that what actually happened now, though? Doesn't matter. It happened in some reality. Damn. Why do you still harbor the hate? I'm worried that it poisons you. That's a good thing. She shrugs. It might, but when the only family you ever knew gets slaughtered in front of you, I want you to take the long view, practice some forgiveness, pretend that the people who did it had good reasons for it. She crosses her arms. Like, sure you want. I'm still laughing about her death, even after all these years. I'm not saying be happy about. I'm like, be sad about that. I mean, like, she was possibly a good person, but still. Stark letters have been carved into the rock above a steady hand. With steady hand, sharp memories emerge at the sight of the masked figure in the tableau. The first cast off. Countless footsteps have worn a track to, and apparently into this mural. This is a gateway of some kind, but you can see no way of opening it. What is this? Matkina puts her hand against the wall, searching for something. Someone closed the portal from the other side. I don't know how to wake it back up. How would they lock us all out? The sorrow, could it be? You look around the area, maybe examining the environment will give you some sort of clue. Let's read the epitaph. Oddly, many of the words above are completely unreadable. It's not that they are in a language you don't understand. It's true, and you recognize every letter. Every time you try to put it all together, the meaning slips from your mind. Maybe that part of the epitaph isn't meant for you. Your eye skips to the end of the message. She serves us still. He spits on the ground beside her feet. Come on, we need to get it. We need to get in there. Put your forehead against the door, like you saw the first doing in your memory. You lay your hands on the cold stone as the first cast of once did, and press your forehead against the mural. The skin around your tattoo crawls, then burns, but even with your eyes clenched shut, you feel the air of the tomb stirring. Ooh, we got in! Hey brothers and sisters,
Yes.
I'm back home. I'm immortal just like you. I have less love for murdering, but hey, that might change in like hundreds of years and thousands of years, so... Good to meet you.
Ready to learn something new.
Are you? Don't judge my style. It's the new fashion. In Sagus. I reckon. This woman is dressed in functional glaives clothing. Her hair is cut short and her face is muscular and tense. You recognize her instantly from Natasha's mirror. I reckon. He spares you but a moment appraising glance before turning to your companion. Matkina, you've come crawling back. Didn't you swear you'd never return here? Or had you forgotten? I did promise that I remember that none of you have ever bothered keeping your vows to me. So what's the point? Anyway, what you been up to? Burning a few villagers full of innocent civilians? Or have you graduated to grander atrocities? I'd kill her right here. If I thought I could get away with it another time. Just trying to keep our creator, the coward, from committing any more of his war crimes as usual. Looking at the larger picture instead of serving my own self-interest. Maybe someday you'll learn how to do that. Though considering your friend here just muscled his way through the locked portal, making our sanctuary even more vulnerable to the sorrow, I don't think that's likely. She turns to you. You know you're traveling with a traitor, right? You can read no thoughts from her. They are muffled as though something were interfering with them. What did you mean when you said I made the sanctuary more vulnerable? There are rumors that sorrow activities have increased recently. I don't buy the stories, but many of them do. She points a thumb behind her to the other cast-offs. Your brothers and sisters, your family, even if the sorrow isn't more active, it's still active. And they came here to be safe. She looks at you pityingly for a moment. Use your mind and think about it. If a door is locked and you kick in the frame, how well is the door going to keep out other intruders? If I can get in, I'm like, you guys in big trouble. Assuming this place can, I don't know, shield you from the sorrow in the first place. Be that as it may, I have important information to share. I have? Not with me. I'm not interested in what you have to say, frankly, and I have a great deal of work waiting for me. If you want to express your delight in your new life or share a moment of happy paternity with your siblings, I suggest you go talk to Idiris. She'll give you the validation you seem to require. I know you. I know what you did in Colin Village. Oh, Matkina told you? What a surprise. She's generally so quiet about her feelings. She adjusts her sword belt. Colin was a pity, a tragedy, but it had to happen that way. I've been a warrior for most of my centuries. I know about making sacrifices in service of a higher idea. I stopped losing sleep over them. Live long enough and you'll understand. Sacrifices? Some might call them war crimes and you're a monster. I don't know. If it had to happen this way, what about letting the villagers survive? Do you realize what we lost that night? Do you realize that what we gained? You weren't there. You've never even met me before. But you think to judge my actions of 200 years ago? The stakes here are more important than a few monsters. They're fighting for our survival, you damn infant. And I won't let you moralize at me while I'm trying to save your life. That is almost the same speech you gave me then. I'm glad to see you're constant. She holds up a hand. No, sorry, I'm done. Please ask Pai your question. See if you get any answers. You called Matkina a traitor. Why? Oh, didn't she tell you? She used to be under my command, but she turned on me, preferring to befriend the monsters in human skin. And rather than step aside for the greater good, she attacked her fellow fighters. Tell me, what would you call someone who turns on her own? Actually, never mind, I don't care. I ran to Barricade. She said she had a message for you, but couldn't get in. Well, how very useful of you. Next time I want someone informed that I have a message for them but cannot send it, I know just who I'll come to. She gives you the most patronizing smile you've ever seen. It's like she's practiced. I need to practice that. Gotta make a note of that. Where are you headed now? Back to the endless battle. I've been leading our side against the forces of the coward ever since the first died. Her jaw tenses. Before you ask, my side, the side of the first, we're in a struggle to survive, to protect ourselves against our father's plan. The other side, they want him to win. You want more details? Get them from someone else. Here, I got a war to fight. Tell me again where are you going? What crimes has our creator committed? Do you want the full litany? Ask someone else, because I haven't got the year to spare. The worst one is that he had plans to kill us, to sacrifice us to save his life. I first found out and took a stand to stop him, but she's dead now. We are stuck with me commanding in her memory. And meanwhile, sycophants and lip spittles work for him for the privilege of being destroyed. For some incomprehensible reason, they've put their faith in the man who dropped us into a world of pain. The other cast elf who work for the changing god, maybe they believe in their salvation in the salvation he offers. Might be. They are not idiots in most other things, it's true, but to anyone with eyes it's clear that he's lying to them, he's leading them into death because he's too frightened to face it himself. What were the changing god plans? To offer our lives in a mad sacrifice to stop the sorrow. He doesn't care about us, he doesn't care about anyone but himself. Tell me again how the changing god... How did the first die? She chews her cheek for a moment. As she lived, sacrificing herself for our lives. An evil sneer creeps onto her face. She was killed in a raid, and Pi used her reality-shifting device to make permanent. What? She exhales slowly, her face going carefully, studiously blank. He turns back to you. She's right. A mistake that haunts me to this day. What? You just killed her? So... Wow. Wow. And you have no right to call anyone a traitor. Let me ask about something else. I need to find Mazov. Is he here?
I'll remember that.
Her eyes narrow. No one has seen Mazov in over a decade. Idarius might know where he is. Talk to her. Her voice softens. Idarius might be the best of us. Treat her well, or I'll be sure you pay in blood and pain. Tell me about Idarius. She has the qualities the rest of us do not. A peaceful, idealistic nature. She wants only the best for all cast-offs. She rises above our rivalries. Her idealism is frustrating at times, but she has wisdom and insight in her gentle nature. I see. Well, don't let me keep you any longer. I have one more thing to say to you, and I don't want you to mark it carefully. The changing god, the coward, intends to kill us all. If you meet him, don't trust him. He's going to ruin us as surely as the sorrow. She turns and strides away. I'd wish you success, but... well, the world has a way of disappointing us all. That's a portal? Okay. What you said to Pi? You took my side. Why? Honestly, I just didn't like her. You're with me. I stick by my allies. Does he need my loyalty? Is it a game to him? What? You're with me. I stick by my allies. She nods. Well, whatever. I appreciate it. Always good to see Pi put in her place. You might not realize it, but your words sunk in. Oh, okay. I don't know about that. You can go back to the
You won't notice I'm
Necropolis. What is this? There are traces of sand on this teleport pad, and it's far warmer than the sanctuary temperature. It smells of seawater and bone, and it's not active right now.
Done.
So these are all of them, right? The air around this teleport pad is hot and smells of sulfur. You can see how to make it function, however.
Sure.
We don't know how Pi makes it work, but...
Fine.
So this is a very nice place. Chalcedon. These machines draw power from somewhere underground, using it to generate the shields that color the sky. There are several of them around the sanctuary. Let's look around this place.
Here we go then.
Cast off. What did you say? I'm so tired of the world.
Doing it now.
Wow, 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 wow. This place is awesome. Okay, let's check it out. This monument tapers to a narrow point. From a distance, the obelisk appears several meters tall, but when you stand at the foot of it, some kind of optical illusion makes it look as though the obelisk keeps going, rising narrower and narrower into the wide sky. You're touching it. The moment your fingertip grazes the dagger-like stone, your mind is seized by cold fingers and hurled high into the air. Shreds of cloud whip past. Stars streak by you and are lost in the void. Ahead, a light blossoms, threaded with silvery ribbons of time. You plunge into the light and the vision of the future unfurls. You see yourself staring mournfully at a half-eaten bowl of stew. Certainly looks good, but judging by your future self's expression, it was an utter disappointment. The prophetic light fades, leaving you standing before the obelisk once more. You studied the monument, frowning. Though the vision fell true, it hardly seemed to have been worth all the effort. Perhaps touching it again will yield different results. Once more, your mind plunges into the open sky, through the gasping void beyond, into the waiting light that holds visions of the future. You return to the vision of the unsatisfactory meal. Your future self is poking a stale piece of bread into the stew, perhaps hoping to salvage the meal. Your vision clears, leaving you before the obelisk again. That vision was just apparently useless as the last, but perhaps this monument has more to show you. Alright. You return to the vision of the unsatisfactory meal. Your future self is poking a stale piece of bread into the stew, perhaps hoping to salvage the meal. I already said that. Oh, never mind that. Well, we're having the best memories here.
Now.
What is this? This building contains living quarters, presumably for cast-offs who make a semi-permanent home here. The doors to the structure are locked at the moment.
Absolutely.
Look around this place. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This enormous tower jutting out of the ground looks like a weapon or an antenna of some kind. It makes a soft hissing noise and smells faintly of yeast. Okay, so we can talk to Chalcedon. A lot of cast-offs here. Apparently.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Last cast-off? Don't be like that. But this is a good time to take a break, so hope you guys had fun. Tell me if you did and see you around. And have a good one.